Imagine the following scenario. Later today, you go to your physical mailbox to check your mail, and your neighbor is also going to grab their mail. You look over and you notice that your neighbor takes their mail out of the mailbox. There's a few envelopes. They open the envelopes, read the mail, put the letters back into the envelopes, place the envelopes back into the mailbox, shut the mailbox, and walk away. What would be some words to describe your thoughts and feelings towards your neighbor's behavior? Anyone? What do you think? Strange. Yeah. What else?
Inefficient.
Inefficient. Why would you leave them in there? You're just going to have to go back if you have to bill to pay or something to respond to. Don't you want to take them into the house? Strange, inefficient. Yet, this is exactly what most of us do every single day with our email, isn't it? We get a new email, we open it, we read it, and then we just leave it in our inbox. And that's strange, and it's inefficient. But for most of us, this is the extent of our email management strategy. And chances are, if we're not managing our email is managing us. So for the next few minutes, I want to give you a simple, practical strategy of email management that you can implement today. You ready? Okay. The first principle of email management, and so if you don't remember anything I say, or if you just can't wait for the break, this is the one thing to remember. The number one principle is to let your inbox be your inbox. Let's all say that together this morning, can we? Let's say it together. Ready? Let your inbox be your inbox. That's the most important principle. Your inbox is not a holding place for your email where you go back and get it later. Again, that's strange. It's inefficient. We've already condemned ourselves for doing that. How does this look practically, though? There's two stages. First is implementation. Implementation is how do we set up the system. And then there's a process. How do we work the system? Implementation is easy. There is one and only step. Only one step to implementation. And it's simply creating 3 folders. We all have folders that we create where we file our emails. Family, friends, underneath of our inbox, right? We all know how to do that, to create a folder. You're going to create 3 folders that, along with your inbox, will be your go-to folders. You're going to do a folder called @action, @read and review, and then the third folder is @waiting for. Now you're thinking, why the @ symbol? What does that matter? The reasoning behind the @ symbol is when you put that character on the front of the name of the folder, it elevates the folders up above all the other ones. So these 3 will appear directly under your inbox folder on the left-hand side. Whether you use Gmail, Yahoo, all of them appear the same. And these 3 folders, along with your inbox, are your go-to folders. And that's all you have to do to set it up. That would take maybe 2 minutes. And then comes the process. Oops. And then comes the process. And the process is simply one question. You ask yourself one question when you get a new email. Is this email actionable? Is this email actionable? Which simply means, is there an action associated with the email, something to do? If the answer to that question is yes, and you are the person responsible for the email, you move that email to the @action folder. That's simple. And so no more searching through the 1,000 or 1,500 emails that might be in your inbox today, wondering, what do I have to do? Who do I have to respond to? Where's the cell phone bill that I have to pay? Everything where you're responsible for an action is in the @action folder. If the answer is yes, there's an action associated with it, but someone else is responsible for the action, we simply move that to the @waiting for folder. So all the people you have to follow up with, listen, we all have friends, right, who have like a 3 to 5 day email return policy. Okay, God bless these people. They get on my nerves. Respond to the email. So the people that you need to hold accountable and you need to follow up with, @waiting for. And then the third option is there's no action associated with it. It's strictly referential or informational. And then we move that email to the @read and review folder. Because let's face it, if you've got a speech to give today, we don't have time to read Paula Dean's recipe of the month or ESPN magazine subscription that comes through our email. when it's convenient for you, when you have the margin in your time and schedule, you go to that read and review folder and you can read these emails at your leisure. And that's the process, is simply asking yourself, is this email actionable? And if you'll do that, I know it sounds crazy, but you can see an inbox that looks like that. There's no new mail. Some of us haven't seen this since the first 15 minutes after we set up our email account. And it is possible. Now imagine some of you have an objection, and your objection is, Justin, I have 1,500 emails in my inbox. How am I possibly going to have time to go and filter through all those 1,500 and put them in the folders? What if you didn't do that? What if you just decided from today that in the next email you get, you're going to use the system. Leave the other emails there. And just try it for a week. And if it works for you, then you can find the time to go back and filter through the rest of them and employ the system thoroughly. Another objection you might have is, dude, that sounds great and that might work for you, but what difference does that make? I mean, really, what difference is it going to make to me? We're living in a time now where email is probably the primary way all of us in this room communicate. More than text, more than phone, more than anything, email is the #1 way we communicate. And I would submit email is probably the chief competitor for your time to relax, to spend with your families, to journal, to read, to play, to dream. And you know what I want for you? This might sound crazy, but this is what I want. I want us to be present and engaged with the people God has called us to do ministry with. It might sound crazy, but I want us to be seminary students who have margin in our time and schedules, and we're not up until 2 a.m. filtering through emails and, oh my gosh, there's 1,500 in my inbox, what am I going to do? And we can actually get some rest and have time to spend with our Heavenly Father. And so if you'll employ these simple techniques, just take a few minutes, set up the system, and then ask yourself, is this email actionable? You'll experience greater freedom and control in your email that will translate to greater freedom and control in other areas of your life. Thanks for listening.
That's awesome.
There's a handout here, step by step.
Oh, great.
You can take it home, one page, and